Hello, Mother. This is Buzzin Cousins. I'm Holt.
I'm DPJ.
And this is sort of a bonus episode. You want to go into it, Dennis?
Yeah, so when we first recorded the episode, our first episode, Moana, the whole idea was that, like, we'd pick a topic, which in that case was children's movies.
Right.
And then I'd give you one that I really loved, and you hadn't seen, and you'd give me one that you really liked and that I hadn't seen. So you gave me Moana, and I give you...
Prince of Egypt.
Right.
And we sort of decided to scrap Prince of Egypt.
Right, so when we recorded the episode, when we shot it, we did like a 3-hour session.
Yeah, it was really long. It was really long.
And also part of it that we sort of, like, successfully but not really successfully edited out of the Moana video is that, like, the idea is that, and we hope to stick with this,
right?
Whatever we do, be it a record or a movie or talking about video games in the future, we're going to be pairing for each other those games and movies and music with a beverage. And we totally got our wires.
Yeah. Completely mixed up. So I was thinking that I would pick a drink for Prince of Egypt.
Yeah.
That being the movie that Dennis gave me to watch.
Right. And I was thinking that we were picking, like, the same way we were picking movies for each other, then we were also picking beverages for each other.
Right.
And so we ended up getting each other, as you'll see here in a moment, we ended up getting each other the exact same beverage for the exact same movie.
Yeah.
We screwed up.
But,
so that was just one of the many foibles. So what you're going to see here is roughly the first 14 minutes of what would have been the full second half of an insanely long YouTube video.
Yeah.
Where the first half would have been us discussing Moana, and the second half would have been us discussing Prince of Egypt. And there were gems, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then...
Tapered off.
Not only did it taper off, but, like, we got a little out of sorts. Yeah. There were angles, we didn't get the right shots, and, I wasn't even captured on video for the last hour of the thing.
We lost some audio too, I think, right?
Yeah, we did, in chunks, because we are amateurs.
There might have been a touch of... We might have gotten to a point of Buzzin that was not like entertaining at all.
It was all Buzzin, no Cousins.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, if you're interested for some strange reason, you can hear the audio of almost the entire... It's over 2 hours of us talking about stuff you didn't hear in the original Moana that got edited just for time and because it was silly, and almost the full-length discussion about Prince of Egypt on our podcast,
right?
Which is on Libsyn.
We'll drop a link in the description.
Genius.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is it. 2 episodes in, 1 episode in, you're already getting bonus.
Right.
How the sausage is made behind the scenes shit.
Exactly.
Folks. So yeah, enjoy bonus episode, Buzzin Cousins, Prince of Egypt.
Who knows what miracles you can achieve.
Let's get our drinks, and you get your drink in the right hand, and this glass of beer in the left hand.
Okay.
And on the count of 3, we will switch them. Get your specialty drink, your secret drink.
Okay.
All right. So, the second movie we watched was Prince of Egypt.
Yep.
And we succeeded at both getting possibly the same thing. This is the big reveal.
We don't actually know yet for sure.
So 1, 2, 3. Man, it's Shevitz. Oh, did you get it? Oh,
I got elderberry.
to the letter. The exact. Okay.
Wait, you got elderberry too?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I thought you got Concord grape.
I didn't know that was an option.
That's amazing. So we both got the same drink. It's like the gift of the Magi, but not.
So wait, let's switch bottles. Oh. How do you think this is going to be?
I have no idea.
It smells delicious. Oh my god, yes. It's pretty gross.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty gross. Man, oh man.
It's real, like, thick.
Prince of Egypt.
Okay. So, I watched Dreamworks, Prince of Egypt.
POE.
Okay. I feel like I wasn't as like detailed as you. Probably will. I'll do better next time.
We could just talk about the movie.
But right off the bat, I noticed they have these hilarious effects on the DVD menu screen. Something that you don't see anymore at all. So I was trying to keep the volume down a little bit so I could watch this movie without waking anyone up in the house.
Sure.
So I put subtitles on in the event because I was like really trying to watch the movie and be critical of the movie.
Okay.
So I didn't want to miss anything. So I put subtitles on. So it was like play movie,
Scene selection.
yeah, scene selection, bonus features, audio, video options. So I go down one to audio, video options, and then this fucking sandstorm comes in. It's like, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I haven't seen one of those in a while. So then I go down. It's like, video, whatever, options, audio options. So I hit audio options, and I was like, okay. This has happened twice, and I'm already annoyed.
Sure.
Anyway, I get like 3 or 4 sandstorms before I can turn the subtitles on. And then so I'm like, okay, let's go to the movie. This is going to be great. So I hit like play movie, and like the title screen like falls down, and 2 guys in like chariots run away, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think that was something that was like big when DVDs first came out.
Of course.
But you really don't see it anymore.
No.
So, R.I.P. to the
To the
DVD
animated menu.
Yeah. So it's a story that I would assume most of us know, which I found made it a little harder for me to like be super critical of things.
Interesting.
Although one of the first things I thought was like how crazy it is to take a baby and put it in the water. I was like, damn, you better be like so sure.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you speak as a man who's just recently
had a baby.
Yeah.
And then, so she puts her baby in the water, and I'm
Sure.
just like, oh God, like, you gotta have so much faith that like something is gonna happen good to this baby.
Sure.
And like seconds later, there's like these giant crocodiles that are like fucking with the basket.
Yep.
And hippos coming up, and I was like, oh.
Big boats.
Damn. Conveniently, Moses shows up at the like steps of a palace.
Yeah.
So everything worked
They
out.
have a special wing of the palace that actually descends into the river.
Yeah. Which
Fortunately.
looks really great. I mean, that all worked out. I will say this, that goes nicely with our previous conversation. Have not watched, despite being a huge fan of any sort of animated movie, I've not watched a hand animated movie in a while. And I have heard that kids these days have a very hard time watching hand animated movies because CGI is the new norm.
Mm-hmm.
I had no such effect. Like, I was excited to be back in that world. Something I really like about these movies is, and this comes later, I think it starts with like, I actually don't want to claim to know where it starts. It's probably like Beauty and the Beast or something. Maybe even
Where they integrate certain CG elements.
And then,
I think Beauty and the Beast might be spot on.
Yeah.
The big sweeping
Exactly.
ballroom shot, yeah.
And so there's scenes where you can totally see that that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And in their own rights, I think they look better than some of the stuff that we see. You know, like a movie like The Minions or something. You know? And there's also this like really nice layering feel when you're watching a hand animated movie that I love. Like something will be in the foreground and you can feel that that's like one layer of artwork, and then there's something going on behind that layer. I love that.
This movie does that to intensely nice effect.
Yeah.
Like, one scene that comes to mind is when Patrick Stewart, Pharaoh, Seti the First, is chastising his sons for having just caused a ruckus. And all of Egypt is in the background of that scene. And it's just the profile of these three men. Man, oh man, do you get the... we just got finished talking about how gorgeous Moana is, and it's on a whole other level in terms of just technical beauty. But the sense of depth that's on display in this movie is...
Yeah, it feels like, obviously, this is the intent of the effect, but it feels like there's a whole, like, world that you can, like, actually go into.
Well, so
beyond
the CGI, like every inch of distance is peopled with information. So it's connected in a more realistic way. But because there are those separate fields in this, like, a more hand-animated movie, it's like the 3D viewfinder effect. Like, even though looking at real life, nothing gets more 3D, but when you put your eyes on one of those stupid red things, those little cutouts just being a little bit... It just gives you going back to hyperrealism, bro.
Yeah, totally. It all goes back to hyperrealism.
Yeah, it does.
So, right off the bat, we have Deliver Us, the opening musical score.
Yeah. I could have saved you at least 3 to 5 sandstorms, because I didn't realize it, but this movie is currently streaming on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah, so I actually watched most of it today, just to sort of rebone. And when I was watching it today, that opening song, for my money, there's a whole sequence where you're seeing the slaves, the Hebrew slaves of Egypt, they're building.
Right.
And then there's a little interlude in the song where the baby's put in the basket, and the basket survives all these perils and then makes it to the steps of the palace. And then from that moment, from the baby arriving at the palace, there's this, like, huge shot, just vertical up, of, like, oh, and this is the city we live in. And then there's a big, deliver us. And then every man in the whole world goes, and then the whole movie goes black. And for me, that it could end there. Like, that's worth the price. Like, I've had the experience I wanted to have in seeing that movie in just that first 8 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, like, were you grabbed by that? Or like, is that just my nostalgia?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Deliver Us was strong. The whole opening is strong.
Yeah.
And what's funny is one of my notes from this movie is there seems to be a trend, not even a trend. I mean, this is a movies 101 probably, but in a lot of Pixar, Disney movies lately, there is a passage of time montage in the beginning of the movie. It seems like in the first half hour of the movie, and I noticed there really wasn't in this movie.
It's just baby man,
which was kind of great.
Yeah.
But what Deliver Us does is it is kind of this montage that shows you
the world,
this, like, desperation and these, like, kind of defeated group of human beings. So it's not really a passage of time, but it packs a ton into this opening sequence that sets up the rest of the movie. Yeah. Which, in a sense, is what those passage of time montages are
designed to do.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. It definitely, like, dips after that. Because, like, when it I don't even think it fades to black.
No, it's just like
black.
Yeah.
When it's black, I was like, all right, deliver me a pizza because I'm in. Good. So let's see. Basically, there's this whole probably half hour or so of Moses and Ramses messing around all over Egypt, and mainly kind of fucking stuff up where the slaves are working.